Chicken meat and eggs are very common in many dishes because the animal is easy to raise and its products are cheap to process. The fact that this animal can be cooked in so many ways show how common it is in the world, both now and in the past. Since the second half of the 20th century, prepared chicken has become a staple of fast food. It doesn't help that chicken meat is often thought to be healthier than red meat because it has less saturated fat and cholesterol. There are some modern types of domestic chicken, like the Cornish Cross, that are raised mostly for their meat, and the ratio of meat to feed that the animal produces is very important. In the U.S., white Rock and Cornish Cross are the chicken breeds that people eat the most. Broilers are a type of chicken that is raised mostly for food. In the U.S., this type of chicken is usually cut up into pieces when it is still young. Modern Cornish Cross hybrids, for example, are cut up early, at 12 weeks for roasting birds and 8 weeks for fryers. Capons, which are adult male chickens that have had their testicles removed, are thought to have more meat, which is why they are a treat today and were very popular in the Middle Ages. Processing chicken meat usually starts with a farm that has the right lighting, enough potable water, a good drainage system, and good airflow. These are all things that are needed for the safe processing of chicken meat. The next step in making chicken meat is to kill the chicken in a clean way. The chicken should not eat for 12 hours before it is killed and should be given a lot of water to reduce the number of bacteria in its intestines. This lowers the risk of contamination during the evisceration process. Next is the process of stunning, in which the bird is hung before it is killed. This is done to remove as much blood as possible from the carcass while making the chicken meat last longer. After the chicken has been stunned, the bleeding process begins. This is done by sticking a knife into the chicken's main blood vessel in the neck and letting it bleed for 2 to 3 minutes in a bleeding comb, which is used to remove blood in a clean and attractive way. The next step is defeathering, which is done by dipping the bird into water that is 50 to 60 degrees Celsius to loosen the feathers and then pulling them off. Scalding tanks and defleshing machines can also speed up and clean up this process. After the feathers are taken off, the bird is eviscerated to take out the organs and separate the parts that can be eaten from those that can't. The meat is washed well, and if it isn't sold right away, it is kept in a refrigerator at 4 degrees Celsius until it is sold. Even though that covers all the steps for processing chicken meat, the process for processing chicken eggs is a little different. Most commercially grown chicken eggs for people to eat aren't fertilized because the laying hens and roosters are kept separate. Fertile eggs could also be eaten, and they didn't have much more or less nutrition than unfertilized eggs. Processing chicken eggs is much easier than processing chicken meat, and the chicken usually lives through the process. Most of the time, it starts with getting the chicken eggs from the farm. When getting the eggs, you have to be careful not to upset the animal. After the eggs are collected, they can be sold as is or go through more steps, such as drying or freezing. Egg drying is the process of drying the egg white, the egg yolk, or the whole egg after it has been pasteurized. The egg powder made in this way can be used again by mixing it with the right amount of water, and it can be dried using high-pressure nozzles or an atomizer. Egg freezing, on the other hand, involves freezing all the liquid inside the egg or separating the egg into its white and yolk before freezing them. This is done to prevent contamination. So, eggs can be graded based on how good the inside is and how good the shell looks and is in. These grades include U.S. Grade AA, U.S. Grade A, and U.S. Grade B. But in some parts of the world, like Australia and the European Union, eggs are rated based on how the hens were raised, whether they were free range or kept in cages, and so on. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching this episode of Knowledge Base for You. If you find this video helpful, please give it a big thumbs up and share it with others. Also, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channel. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our new uploads. In the end, thanks for watching and see you next time.